So every year when I get to Texas, I start hearing stories. And this year, within the first week, I had 4 stories, and honestly, they made me mad. And they all started the same way. The customer hired an RV tech to work on their RV. So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick recap on those stories, so then you'll understand why it's so important to properly vet someone before you hire them to work on your RV. Okay, first one's a generator. Let me get up here for storytelling position here for you. Now, customer had an RV tech come out because her generator would not start. The tech came out and said it needs a starter. He took the starter off of the generator. It's a motorhome and there's panels below the generator. Left the panels on the ground, took the starter with them, and the customer assumed he was coming back either that afternoon or pretty soon with the new starter because he left the work site like he was coming right back. But over the next month, the customer was calling the tech, leaving messages. The tech would not return phone calls, wouldn't answer the phone. So then the tech had the starter and the customer was left without a working generator. Now when I arrived, they knew I was reliable, so they had me come out. I put a new starter in and the generator still would not start. At this point, I could diagnose it. I figured out the batteries were bad. They were all dry, completely depleted. They would have voltage and it would drop off and the generator would not start. So put new batteries in the RV and the generator started up without a problem. So I took care of the issue and they were all good from there. But the question is, did that starter actually need to be replaced? Now we'll never know why the tech never showed back up. Did they leave, get in an accident, now they're in a coma? Did they get thrown in jail? Did they need that starter for another job? So they took this job to get a part for another job? Or did they just decide they didn't want to show back up to that customer's RV? If you have any thoughts and theories on things that could have happened, drop it in the comments below, because I'm sure there's things I'm not thinking of. So now on the other story, the customer had an extended warranty and the toilet had an issue. So the extended warranty approved the toilet to be replaced. The customer was at work, the tech showed up to replace the toilet, and the tech called the customer and said, hey, the work is done, can you call the extended warranty so that way I can get paid? The customer says, sure, I'll call him so you can get paid. But then the customer got home and they walk in the door, here's a toilet sitting on the floor, still new in the box, never installed. At this point, the customer knew, well, I called the warranty company, told them it was installed, so now it's my problem. I have to replace the toilet that the tech was paid for. But this situation is straight up lying. The tech knew they had to install the toilet, they didn't, and they told the warranty and the customer that the job was completed and they got paid for it. Now the takeaway from this, if you have somebody working on your RV and they call you to tell you the work is complete and you're not going to be home for a while, ask for a picture of the work completed before you pay them or authorize payment. That way you can build a trust with that tech and make sure things are going in the right direction. And now for the next story, this is another generator. And this customer took their RV into a shop. They needed a service done to their generator. Servicing a generator is just draining the oil, changing the oil filter, a fuel filter, all the things that are required for a generator. When the customer got the RV back, he noticed some things weren't quite right with his RV. At that point, he figured out the dealership took their RV for a joyride when the RV should never have left the parking lot. Now, I've also heard stories where they'll have a customer drop an RV off to a shop, they'll fix the RV, use it for a weekend camping trip, and then call the customer the following week and tell them the RV is ready to be picked up when they use it for their own personal use over the weekend. Those things really frustrate me. I mean, I don't have any particular stories about that one, but I know it definitely happens. Now for the last story, the customer needed a fridge replaced in their RV. They prepaid for the fridge, also paid for the labor. Tech came out, installed the fridge, everything is working, but at the end of the job, the tech did not reinstall the fridge properly. I mean, it was in the hole, it was physically working, but there's brackets and screws that need to secure the fridge to the RV, and they didn't do that. They put the fridge in, verified it was working, and left. The customer was calling the tech multiple times. They wouldn't return phone calls, didn't show back up to secure the fridge to the RV. So they had me come out to the RV for doing some other work, and they said, hey, while you're here, can you secure the fridge to the RV? And they told me the whole story. It wasn't hard to do it. A couple screws and some brackets, and the fridge is now secured to the RV, because if you know how fridges work in RVs, they need to be secured to the RV. That way when you're traveling with it, they don't fall over. Now, I don't hear these stories too often in my Michigan service area. The issues I hear there are more where somebody had their RV fixed, but it wasn't fixed properly because the person fixing it didn't know how to fix it. That's usually the lack of training. But Houston, Texas is a whole different story. It's the fourth largest city in the United States. There's a lot more RVs here because of the population, so that means there's a lot more people who start up an RV repair business. Now, because of the stories I hear from my customers in Houston, I wrote a blog post to help RV owners vet a good mobile tech and recognize the red flags before hiring someone. Now, the stuff in the blog post applies to any service provider you hire, not just RV techs. And that blog post is linked in the description of this video. I highly recommend you give it a quick read before hopping over to the next video on YouTube. Now, if you do need to hire a mobile tech, one of the first places I suggest looking is on RV Help. The service providers listed on the platform have formal training, but that doesn't mean you should skip doing your homework. Just because someone has formal training doesn't automatically mean they run a good business. What I love about RV Help is they're working extremely hard to bring trust to the RV industry. And I really like some of the features they've added to help RV owners vet mobile techs before they hire them. For example, they recently added the tags background checked and insured. The background check is done by a third-party company, and a technician has to pay to have that completed. The tag does not show up on their profile until the background check comes back clear. The insurance tag works the same way. My insurance I had uploaded expired on February 19th. I forgot to upload the updated version, and then on February 20th, my insurance tag went away. I had to re-upload my new insurance certificate. Once it was verified, the insurance tag showed back up. So it's not just a one-time submission. Those tags expire if the RV technician is not keeping their information current. They also have other helpful tags, and you can filter by the specific services you need done, which makes it easier to find a technician who is trained and specializes in the RV component you need help with. Now, I do want to be clear on something. I have no affiliation with RV Help. I'm just a service provider listed on their website. You will hear me mention the Locator many times in all of my videos. This is because I love what Heath Paget and the team are doing to move the RV industry in a positive direction. Now, I've also heard from people that they've hired a technician from My Business Locator thinking I run the Locator, and that's not the case. I'm simply a technician listed on their platform as a service provider. Now, RV Help does track referrals to learn where people first heard about the Locator from. Each tech on the platform has a referral code they can use if they choose to share it. And there's no monetary gain from sharing the platform. The referral code helps them understand how people first found the tech Locator. So I hope this video has shed some light on what goes into hiring an RV tech and gives you a few skills to better vet a service provider before you hire them. And you can find a link to that blog post and tech Locator in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.